November 11th, 2025. Please stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So, just to kick off the meeting, we have an exciting new mayor, Susan McCarthy. So I would like to open the floor for a nomination.
Oh, we do city clerk first, right? Do you want to do it first?
The oath.
Yeah, the oath. Okay.
What do we do? Okay.
The oath. The city clerk does the oath. Amy does.
Oh, City Clerk Amy Burton will read the results of the November 4th, 2025 election and administer the oath of office to the newly elected commissioners.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Congratulations to the City Commission. As you all know, the results of the November 4th election. I'll read them in alphabetical order. So there were 7 candidates, 6 on the ballot, 1 write-in candidate. The 5 who were elected were Alan Ackerman, Brad Baxter, Alice Buckley, Lauren Fisher, and Susan McCarthy. So first, congratulations.
Thank you.
Everybody?
Yes. So now, if you would all please stand and raise your right hand and repeat after me for the oath of office of City Commissioner. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of this state,
and I will endeavor to secure and maintain
and I will endeavor to secure and maintain
an honest and efficient administration
an honest and efficient administration
of the affairs of the City of Bloomfield Hills,
of the affairs of the City of Bloomfield Hills,
free from partisan distinction or control,
free from partisan distinction or control,
and to perform the duties of the office
and to perform the duties of the office
of City Commissioner to the best of my ability.
of City Commissioner to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone who voted for all of us. Thank you. So now I'd like to hear a motion for who will become mayor.
I'm not sure of the order, but I'll start with a motion to nominate Mayor Pro Tem Susan McCarthy.
Second?
Second.
All in
All
favor?
those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No? Congratulations.
Thank you.
Susan McCarthy, Mayor Susan McCarthy.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Okay, now we will need to hear a motion to nominate the Mayor Pro Tem. Do I have a motion?
Oh. I'm sorry, I think I said Mayor Pro Tem before. I meant Mayor. But Mayor Pro Tem, I nominate Commissioner Buckley to Mayor Pro Tem.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, congratulations. Thank you. Okay. All right, now I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the outgoing mayor that's has been here and served the city very, very well. I think everybody here will agree that Lauren has been an exceptional mayor. She has dedicated her time, her energy, and I would say her heart to the city. Lauren, you stepped into the role as a mayor a year ago. You were fully prepared to lead every meeting in a very professional manner. As a mayor, you also have you are a very strong advocate for the voice of the residents, always considering what is best for the residents and the city. In the past year, Lauren has also been a strong advocate for new street signs, as you can see here today.
Started by Brad Baxter.
Recognizing that some of the signs are old and unreadable in our city, she brought the motion up and got everybody rallied around her, and also was able to get herself, Commissioner Baxter, a lot of people just dove in to really take this initiative and to bring it, hopefully tonight, to a close that we decide. Her attention to detail showed in everything she did, whether it was to understand an ordinance fully or making sure meeting minutes were accurate. Lauren was also the first commissioner as mayor to recognize that our city conference room was in much need of repair. and updating it as it is in the first room. As Lauren said to us, it's the first room that a lot of our residents go into when they're building their home, and she noticed that it needed repair and it needed updating, and she even used her own resources to get some of the quotes and to bring that forward. So Lauren, your detail was
Thank you. Get it done.
she always was willing to listen to residents. And I know she personally met with senators and state representatives regarding the Woodward noise and trying to do something about it. She took her time to do that. I said, and I want to say, Lauren, your commitment to transparency and making sure we have checks and balances with the city is commendable, and it's an asset to our residents. On behalf of the entire commission, we thank you for your dedication and service as mayor for the city of Bloomfield Hills.
Thank you. It's an honor to serve. Thank you. Oh, it's beautiful. Thank you.
Okay, I meant to print that out today and my printer broke. Just want to let you know.
No worries.
All right. Now we have the consent agenda. Does anybody have any questions, comments?
Yes. Our planning commission meeting ran kind of late, so there's a couple things. Regarding the minutes, I think it is important that the residents see in the minutes that the mayor, myself, noted that our entire commission has historically and continues to make noise abatement on Woodward a high priority. The residents came to complain about it, and we were very sympathetic, and I don't know, and Chief King spoke about the challenges, but we also pointed out that our commission has met with many state legislators urging their support and solutions, and last week I met with a Slotkin representative and brought up the issue as well. We collaborate. I mentioned in the meeting that we collaborate with cities up and down Woodward, Ferndale, Birmingham, all of them, in this effort to quell the noise. And we've also looked into mechanisms that can measure the sound and issue tickets right away, but unfortunately that's not legal in Michigan. So I just wanted to point out for a change of the minutes that this commission has and continues to do concerted efforts to reduce the noise on Woodward.
Okay, anybody else have any other questions?
It's some financial ones. The salt building, there was another $13,000.
Yeah, I saw that.
What is,
That the payment of the electrical?
Yes.
it just seems like every meeting there's another $20,000 for the,
Is that for the new or the old?
That's for the new salt building. That building is done. I think that was that the last one? I think that was the last thing I did was electrical
Was
work.
electrical on it? Okay.
Yeah, matter of fact, they were the lowest bidder, 13,000. I think it was, the highest bid was 30,000, and the second bid was, I think it was somewhere to 20,000, but the lowest bid was 13,000, and they finally got it done. It took some time getting some, I think interior lights on it completely. But, that's why that lingered on a little bit, but that building is done.
are we gonna see any more expenditures?
No.
So what did the total come to for the salt?
Two something, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it came to 226,000.
Okay, and you quoted us it would be 100,000?
Well, what I said was originally was to build a building, I believe it would cost $100,000. Then I quickly changed that and provide the commission with an update after I learned of the engineering that had to go into that. It's interesting that where it's built at the DPW building, that is an old train station with it's all fill.
And so there was probably over $30-some thousand in engineering, I think, that went into that, and some additional construction costs. But as I noted before, I did bid the building out with a couple of reputable construction companies, and it was one of the bids was about $350,000. So by doing it ourselves, we saved money.
Do we have to do a budget amendment for that?
No, we did a budget amendment in June, the final budget amendment, for things that were done as of June 30th. And then we included the balance of the expense in this current fiscal year.
In the what?
In this current fiscal year, we included the balance of the project, including this 13,000 for the.
Oh, okay, so we don't have to do an amendment for it?
No, we're
Okay. But now is it done?
It's done.
Okay. We're gonna use it this way?
They're using it now. It's got salt in it. As a matter of fact, this week we had an agreement signed with Cranbrook that we've turned the building over to the salt dome over to them for no cost. And Sandra called our insurance company this week and took it off our insurance. So we're no longer liable for that. And that building was it's just a repair. It probably would cost at least as much as we paid for a new building to repair that and replace it.
Did we have a BEA on that building?
A BEA?
Baseline environmental ever?
We had, so the engineering, you can talk to that, Jamie.
So the new building was part of when the DPW bought the old train station, bought that property. That was all done at the time. This was just a building addition into an area that had already been disrupted, so we didn't do any additional environmental testing. On the old building, it's all Cranbrook property underneath. They own the property. They use the salt dome, use the rights to the salt dome. So if they didn't request it to take it over, it's on their property. We didn't own. We owned like this. It was weird, the structure.
Yes.
But we didn't own the property, and they took that property over. They took the building over on their property. So we didn't transfer property rights. We didn't do any baseline, or they could have, I guess.
Okay. And I just had a question for Sandra on page 6 of 7. I meant to call you today, just it's a crazy day. The planning consultant fee, it shows that we spent $44,000, and in the past we haven't spent more than $24,000, and I know it's budgeted for 36, but it just seems to be, the last in 22, 23, 24, we spent $24,000, much less than the budget. And then in the meeting last month, you guys all were quoting that you only spent $17,000, or the budget was 17. So can you just help me understand the numbers
Sure, I
better?
apologize. Tell me the line item that you're looking at.
It's planning consultants, page 6 of 7. It's like
Thank you.
7 down, 1, 2, 3, 4,
So
5, 6, 7.
the year-to-date expenditure right now is $3,855, and the budgeted amount is the $36,760.
Okay, so what is the 44,000?
That's fiscal '25. So that
Ending in June?
Yes.
Okay,
So it's
so
just
why was
showing-
that so elevated?
Why do we spend $44,000? I don't know right now, but I can certainly look into that and get back to you.
Okay, because in the past it's only been 20, so I'm confused why. You've been under budget.
Usually, I think it's about 35, I think.
Yeah.
But I can
it's
certainly
more
look
than
into that.
It's budgeted for that, but it hasn't been spent at that level before, so I was just curious.
Yeah, to speak on that, knowledgeably, I'll have to look into that.
Great, thank you.
Priority metrics for priority, are they doing better?
Actually, between October and September, a little bit less, but still within what I've determined are key performance indicators. Of course, these are just indicators that I've found that it was sort of a national approach, but to Commissioner Baxter's question last time, what value was the initial numbers? So now I've put the October numbers, and you can see in September, some are a little bit worse, some are a little bit better, but I think they're all still within industry standards.
ours was missed last week as well. And many of my neighbors were missed again. Love to see improvement.
Yes, we're putting out an RFP here soon. I think probably this next week we're putting an RFP out. And once we get the bids back, we'll bring them to the city commission and you guys can review it. Unless the new city commission has changed their mind, if you want us to put out the RFP, or if you want us to negotiate with the current waste hauler, it's certainly up to you.
We moved to do the RFP.
Yeah, we did.
Yes.
Yeah.
They decided.
I think we should still stay on that course.
Okay,
Yeah.
just making sure
This is
we're.
occurring in the same spot.
I just, on that
They're
note,
occurring in my neighborhood a lot.
you brought that up with priority. Several people have called priority to get their waste baskets and, you know, their canisters, and they're not being dropped off. Just, you know, have
You
several
mean the
people.
recycle
Into
bins
that?
or something?
The recycled and the regular, because either they've moved into the house that's new, you know, and the other people took them or something, didn't leave them, and so they were asking me. I've had 3 people in my neighborhood ask me how they get them, because they've called and asked to have them dropped off. So,
They still have a dedicated phone number for us. The GFL contract required it. And
GFL Priority does not.
Priority should do it because they were required, they were operating under the GFL contract, so they should be complying with those terms and conditions. They should have a dedicated phone for Bloomfield residents.
Now, that dedicated phone number came later.
It was in the
Was
the
it in
amendment.
the amendment? Okay,
The renewal amendment,
I
and
will-
that's what they're operating on.
got it. I will-
So
Okay,
we
yes.
should be, I thought about that after the last meeting, because they should be doing everything that we requested, everything that was contained in the GFL agreement. They stepped into their shoes.
I agree, and yes, I'll look into that. I actually didn't realize that was part of the amendment, but I can certainly look at that. Make that happen.
May I say something else?
I wanted to ask about the St. Hugo incident.
Oh, I'm sorry, I just wanted to add on the GFL, or
Okay,
the trash
I'm sorry.
removal. We have residents on Trowbridge Road who are moving to a new home on Charing Cross, and they asked for new waste bins, and they were told that they were no longer giving them out, and that they should take their Bloomfield Hills waste bins to use in Bloomfield Township, which is on Charing Cross.
So they're Bloomfield Township residents, and they were told that, well,
Well,
okay.
they're currently Bloomfield Hills, they're moving to town, just over
Township, yeah.
Charing Cross, and so they're being told these are Bloomfield Hills ones, that they're not giving them out anymore, so.
They're not selling them?
They're not giving them,
They're not giving them.
providing waste bins
They're
anymore.
charging for them.
They charge, yeah, they charge for them. Okay.
Wait, that wasn't part of the contract, was it?
Well, I don't know what's in the township.
We got it all, when we started with GF, or with priority, everybody got a recycled and a trash bin, one of each.
Right.
Everybody got one, it was all part of the thing.
But if you're
Why?
requesting another one in addition to what you got, they're charging for them, I guess.
No, it sounds like you don't get
Well,
it.
these residents want township ones, because they're moving into the township, and they were instructed to take their Bloomfield Hills bins with them to the township to use. And they were confused because these are all number coded, the waste bins, I don't know how much they follow that, but I believe they're assigned to addresses, so they're confused. And I just thought, since we're discussing, I would bring that up.
Thank
that
you.
They were told they were not giving out new waste bins anymore. So,
Well, if anybody has an issue with it, I have, on many occasions, people have called us and they ask for new waste bins and we've gotten for them. So if anybody has an issue, please let me know and I'll take care of it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it.
So, Chief King, I was wondering about the St. Hugo incident that you reported on in the agenda packet.
Yes, ma'am, what
Has anything developed from it, or resolved, or?
no, the investigation was completed and presented to the Oakland County Prosecutor's Office for review. The individual is a juvenile, and those weapons were secured as part of a new protocol that we put in place for home visits out of an abundance of caution. Also adhering to the property rights of the parents and the citizens, the Constitution. We went out of that precaution to that home and ammunition for safekeeping. So when the prosecutor's office, it's a non-custodial, so they kind of put those, I don't want to say at the tail end of the line of all the cases that they review. It's a juvenile and it's a non-custodial, so it'll take some time.
So are all of the weapons removed from the house?
What we could secure, yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yep. Just to be clear, we had no legal right to seize them. They were, through coordination with parents, they consented to putting them in our care out of an abundance of caution. Yep.
Does anybody have any other questions? I had just a couple. Encode Plus, we paid them for zoning code reorg tool, $33,589. Sandra, is that for that consulting one, or is this just a payment to them?
No, that is the actual cost of the whole reorganization.
Okay.
It's the
okay.
kickoff, right?
It's a kickoff. Right?
Yeah, and we
Okay.
started it, and I did provide, I think, actually, there's a report in this.
Okay, good. I know we talked about this when we decided to do Trowbridge. I just wanted to do it as a reminder. I saw that we paid $7,500 for chip seal spray patch repairs on Trowbridge, right?
Yes.
So we always talked about, comparing the chip seal maintenance versus the dirt road maintenance. Remember, we talked about that and what it would be. So that way it would help us when we move forward. If we wanted to do other residents wanted to do the chip seal, we can compare the cost of what it is for the chip seal versus the dirt road. Is that right?
Yes, so it was about $25,000 a year for us to bring in gravel and have our employees spread the gravel around. I'm not sure what it's going to cost for a total year working on this chip seal, but we definitely had to do some winter repairs. We definitely are having trouble with new homes being built and the roads getting torn up, but we do take road bonds even for this chip seal road, so we have monies to help us with that. So that wouldn't go into that calculation. But I can also say that in the spring or this next year, we're going to have another whole chip seal. So I would hope that, I'm planning on providing some more repairs, probably some more asphalt repairs to shore up the road. Essentially what happens is when the chip seal kind of breaks loose, water gets in there and turns it into mud. In some areas, we're learning where the problem areas are. So what we're doing is we're taking out little sections that are problem areas and filling it with asphalt. And that asphalt should stay there. And then when we re-chip seal, it just provides a more stable base for the road. And so I think over time we're going to be doing this for a while, but at least several years. But I'm hopeful that when we find all these little areas that are kind of sinking in, and we fill them in, and then we keep up on the chip seal, and we certainly in the spring will have a full chip seal, that maybe it's going to start to catch up and be a decent product for the neighborhood. I can't predict how many new homes will be built. That's always the trouble. I think we have about 3 in there right now, at least, and so it's challenging.
Yeah, there's 2 going up at Eaton Cross and Trowbridge right now. There's a major renovation on Trowbridge, which is a concern of mine. They have a circle drive. The easternmost portion of the circle drive dips down below the road level, and there's a giant puddle in there right now. But what happens, and you guys just patched that with asphalt with the chip seal on top. But what's going to happen is their plows are going to dig into the edge of the road. And I messaged Jamie, Spivey, asking if there's any way the city could fill that with gravel, that ditch at the end of their drive. I've spoken to the homeowners. they don't wanna do anything about it until after the renovations are done, but I'm concerned about the heavy equipment, snowplows, and it's going to wreck what you guys just did.
As far as snowplows, it might be interesting for the commission to know that we are going to purchase a special blade that won't tear the road up as much.
Yeah, you talked about that, it's gotta be a little bit higher or something.
Yeah, maybe it's like some rubber on it or something, I don't know exactly.
These are the residential snowplows. The
Oh, I
ones
see what
that
you're
are
saying,
higher,
yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
That is
Yeah.
problematic.
To the drive, and then they just dig, if there's snow, they can't even see it. But when you've got this much of a difference between the foot of the drive and the road, it's gonna go right in under that asphalt, right under, it's going to ruin it. But so I was thinking if there's any way we could just get some, big gravel, to fill that hole, to level that out because of the equipment's going to be coming in for the home renovation, I think it's going to mitigate a lot of that damage.
So that specific area, we'll certainly deal with you and get that done.
I will follow up with you.
Yes.
Okay.
Is that something that you guys might wanna send a note out to your homeowners association about the plowing of the private drives?
Yeah, I have
Have
in
you
the
said
past.
that, Brett?
We do, and we also actually, our own DPW actually looks for that and has stopped folks and try to explain to them the damage that they're doing. Some people don't care, but we try to catch it.
After they paid for the roads, you would think they would care. Okay. All right, good, thank you for that update. Jamie, you didn't get away with it. The $1,400 for the Chesterfield Road Bridge Phase 101. PEA Group, DBA, ASTI Environmental.
Yeah. That's, the sub-consultant that the city hired to do the environmental clearance for the Chesterfield Bridge.
Yeah.
Through the HUD funding, yeah.
Okay, and that's still on the docket, just not this year, right? Next year?
Correct, so, because of the government shutdown right now, that funding is at a standstill, so we're kind of just waiting on that. But, the city, Sandra's done everything on her end, so once government comes back up, we're hoping to move forward.
Okay.
Thank you, Sandra, and thanks for jumping through all those hoops.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, if there's no other questions, comments, or concerns, can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda as noted?
I'll move to approve the consent agenda as noted.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Consent agenda approved. Next item on the agenda is the recognition of citizens in the audience. This is for individual comments that are limited to 3 minutes per person.
Okay. Chris,
Yes, please state your name and address, please.
Chris Bauer, 925 Trowbridge, representing Trowbridge Farms Association. I'm here primarily regarding the street signs. We'd like to express our support for the wood version of the signs for our intra-neighborhood application. Our subdivision is the oldest platted subdivision in the city of Bloomfield Hills in 1916. And we also have taken measures to retain our rural and historic character in the neighborhood, so we feel that these are most fitting. Secondly, the signs on Woodward, we've had many problems with them just because they're illegible. The type has gone so small. Many residents, decades-long residents, have missed our signs even though we know where we live. And we have spent thousands on a post sign, a post light with DTE, excuse me, and that just doesn't seem to help. There's something about the angle of woodwork when you approach our roads, both Warrington and Trowbridge. Warrington Road, we looked into having a post sign put there, but there was no electricity to that point. It would cost us over $10,000 just to have the wiring put in. So we didn't do that one. I put in landscape lighting at the corner. It was almost $1,000 in lighting and all got stolen. So it's like the signs, we really rely on those to be visible. I know how important it is to all of you, and I respect that, the aesthetics. I mean, because I like the aesthetics, I like the character of our, signs. And I know that putting huge text out there is not the prettiest thing, but we need something large. And I know the suggestion is like 8 inches for capital letters and 6 inches for lowercase for example, an 8-lane highway like we have on Woodward, that's over 40 miles an hour. I mean, if we even had something, you know, up to 6 inches, I don't know. I mean, some of these are really, like the 4-inch, even if we got to that, that would be so helpful. And it's a safety issue first and foremost. The safety is most important, and then following that is the aesthetics and consistency. And so I'm all for all of that. We just need to be able to see our streets.
May I ask, are you advocating for the wood sign on Woodward as well? Because it's not as bright.
For the intra-neighborhood, I'm fine with that. We need something far more visible than that, I believe, as my opinion.
Oh, so you're not advocating for this exact wood sign, you're just saying.
Intra-neighborhood, so inside of our neighborhood, I think that would be wonderful to have something like that. But for Woodward, adjacent streets such as Warrington and Trowbridge, we need something very legible at a high speed. Do you want to say anything?
You'll have to identify. You'll have to tell us who you are.
Umesh Kaura, I live on 181 Canterbury Road. The chip sealing has really helped a lot. Now we have new arrivals in the subdivision. There are kids. So I'm a little concerned about the speed at which they go. It's been a problem for a very long time. So if something can be done about it, it will be helpful. And another one is the same thing. I agree with Chris. I lived here in that, we lived there for 25 years. We are one of the oldest neighbors. I still once in a while miss Trowbridge Road. And also when guests or visitors or friends coming, most of the time they miss, and workers who come to take care of our house and property, they miss it. So it would be great, it would be helpful if somebody could help us with that bigger sign. At least a Trowbridge sign.
I agree. I often miss it. I liked when Chris had her lights out because I could always find the driveway. But at night, like especially coming home from these meetings, I'd always miss. I'd go all the way down to Big Beaver and have to turn back.
You're not the only one.
Well, we're glad you came and we're glad you made comments because the commission has been talking about this for probably over a year now. And for that reason, we have street signs all over the city. Some are this big, you know, some are bigger. They're just kind of haphazard and they're old. And so the commission, you know, we talked about it, and that's why we're here today. Later on, we're going to talk about which one we're going to make a decision and move forward. And it's with the intent that they're legible, that you can see them, because we've gotten that comment from a lot of people.
Great. I'm going to stick it out and wait for you guys to make that decision so I can communicate it out to my neighborhood in our newsletter. So
We love having people here.
okay.
Absolutely. Okay, thank you. All right, the 7th item on the agenda, we have pulled that item off the agenda for a future one. So we're going to move to number 8. The commission will consider the interlocal agreement with Oakland County for animal services.
Mayor, I provided a memo for the commission, talked about the purpose, the background, and essentially it's the same contract we've had, but the fees have gone up. And so the commission, I think it was back in 2000, I put it in here, 2019, we went through a process of trying to make sure that we had the service of having a place to take stray animals and remove dead animals. And the commission did have an issue with getting licensing through the county, and the county is, trying to make sure people in our city had licensing. So we were able to, in 2019, enter into a contract where we have our own dog licenses, our own, and the county does not enter our city to check on that. And so we're able to enter into a contract with the county. It's worked out very well. We actually don't use them very much. I think we have some statistics in here when we do use them. But, let's see here. We use them, probably only a few times a year, I think, really. And so, essentially, we're asking to continue on with this practice that we have. And we'd ask that you agree to the new fee schedule and allow us to continue on with what we're doing because it's working well for us.
May I ask how it says the required holding period, it's in accordance with certain provisions, but how long do they hold an animal that's been lost before they euthanize it?
I think it's up to, well, actually, they're not a shelter that euthanizes animals.
Great.
They're a non-kill shelter.
They sell it.
Yeah.
They sell the animal.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think
They
we
don't
paid
use it, they
for
sell it to some-
either 7 to 10 days or something like that. We actually paid to hold them, but they're a non-kill shelter.
I thought it was a 2-day thing. Is that in here about how long they hold them?
It's not. And how do people know? I guess they would call the city, right? They would call you and you would be able to tell them where to go to look if the dog was in town.
Yeah, in most cases, when folks lose their animals, we're able to find them, or they're able to find them. There's very rare instances when, and I'm talking maybe a couple times a year this happens, where the animal will end up in an animal shelter. And even rarer instances when we don't know whose animal it is. So I think we've got a good solution here that was amenable to the commission in 2019. It's essentially a continuation of that agreement with some cost increases.
And how long is this agreement for? 3 years?
It's,
26 to 28, I believe.
Yeah.
but it starts in under section 5.1, it starts in October of next year, or November of next year. October.
Why are we renewing it now? It doesn't start.
The fees I think will occur then, but the county wanted to get this done.
Have we, I think I brought this up to you before. I know we contacted the township before, and they weren't at that time, but, you know, now that we have a friendly there, an ex-Bloomfield Hills resident, have we talked to the township? Because
Well, it's essentially like, so we literally spend a few $100s a year, a couple of few $100s a year.
Yeah.
No matter what agreement I think we have with the township would cost the city significantly more money. Last time we checked, it was $15,000 a year. And so, no, we haven't checked because we just don't see that it would work.
Some articles, local articles written recently about the township's animal handling, and they've made some blunders in terms of releasing cats into they had a cat that was like a pet there who was not a feral cat, and they released it out with a bunch of feral cats, and it's gone. It probably died right away. I mean, my next door neighbor is an animal lover, and it keeps me up to date. He's always putting articles in my mailbox about things the township has done. I think Oakland County is probably a better bet for us in terms of the way that they treat animals and the care that they take. But I do wonder about this, because under section 4.2 it talks about such fees shall be limited to the required holding period as set forth by the municipality. Fees for the destruction and disposal of each animal held, the required holding period will be. So does that indicate that they are destroying animals?
I think,
holding
well, I
period?
think I think in certain cases they're destroying animals that are sick or injured. But it's not for healthy animals.
Because I remember the other agreement that we approved did specifically say that they would not be.
Right.
Yeah. So we don't want to change that by this contract.
yeah, I'm not agreeing to anything that they put in an animal.
Yeah, no, it's not changed, but I certainly can make sure that that's not an issue.
Do you want to table this and
Yeah, can we
delay
table
this
this
a
until we
month?
find out?
I'm just curious why Oakland County was in a hurry to get this signed for $300 a year.
I know.
And it's,
It's a good point.
yeah, and it's
Yes, sir, yes,
a year away almost.
Amy, or
Chief wants to speak too, so I will
Sorry, yeah.
defer, I will speak after him. My understanding of speaking with the representative from Animal Control Services, it seems to be a similar issue, like we had with the equalization contract, where there were decisions made by the Board of Commissioners about fees, and they needed to get this fee schedule approved quickly.
Couldn't it just be a fee schedule attached to the original contract? Say, these are the fees that are effective from November 1 of 26 through 28.
I think that's a fair question.
Because I don't know, I mean, I'm wondering what they're putting in here that changed the other contract. We don't know some of those
Yeah,
details.
because this is a new contract.
Yeah, it's a totally new. Would we be able to get like a red line of that, Mark?
I believe the changes mainly occurred in the veterinary services and the custody of the animal. There's a right to refuse the animal if it's sick. They'll refuse it, send it back to the city to nurse it back to health, basically. Then they'll take it. And then if it gets sick in their custody, they'll do some initial treatment. But there's a 2-day?
2 days.
A 2-day pickup requirement. So there's some structural changes as well as fee changes. And they're all designed to save the county some money.
Couldn't they just put that in an amendment to the existing contract?
They could, but this is what was sent to us from the county.
I think I'd be more comfortable with an amendment
We
to
can-
it, so we know.
We can try, but
See where they are.
history shows with the county that they want their contracts in certain ways.
And I,
Can we see a red line version though? I mean, you could email it to us too.
did we get a
Because we did take care to.
No,
get the
I just have the
terms
contract.
of the
Okay.
previous contract.
Yeah, we can do that, certainly.
Yeah, you were really active on that to make sure that was right.
No problem.
Okay, thank you. Okay, item number 9 on the agenda, the commission will hear city manager comments.
I think I just wanted to recognize Director King. He's been here a year.
Oh, wow.
So it's been happening very fast, and I remember when I first talked with him, I asked him if he could do 3 things, and it was to staff the department, to develop a really good training program, make sure they're getting trained, and get the cars on the road. And he's done all 3, and he's done an exceptional job. And I want to congratulate him for finishing the fire academy. I think that was a great thing to do for his staff and himself, even though he probably didn't like it, but he'll look back fondly on it. And I also wanted to recognize our assistant city manager, city clerk, for the fantastic job she did with the election. I know that Amy worked 11 days in a row, and
Wow.
we don't always appreciate her for what she does. But I personally saw her go through quite the struggle to find another location for voting. And so it was a really tough deal for her to go through, and I really appreciate all the work she does, and I think I just want
Thank
to
you.
recognize her.
Thank you.
How did the Kingsley work out?
So we had individuals, I had staff at every entrance. The Kingsley, at one point during the day, they brought accommodations, scooters and wheelchairs to every entrance. So if there were citizens that were not able to make that walk, they gave us their resources. What I didn't say when I was standing up there earlier, so thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for asking. This was the greatest turnout we've had for a local election in the last 10 years since we've had it in November. So 28%, I think, was remarkable. I think the Kingsley was very accommodating. I think I did everything that I could to make it be an easy transition. Change is hard, and it certainly was a lot different location than the church. So as I said, throughout this process, I'm open to evaluating for future elections locations, but I'm grateful for the relationship and the opportunity to have it at the Kingsley. And thank you to the commission.
Ultimately, I talked with Amy because I actually had complaints. I'm in precinct 2, and I had neighbors when I walked my 5 miles that stopped me, and they had complaints about the Kingsley. It was too far. They didn't know where to go. one lady goes, I came in the front door and I didn't want to walk to the back. She was, and it's fine. But Amy and I talked, ultimately, Amy would like to find one location in the city, correct?
Yeah, I need to evaluate the entire precinct map, so it's something that I do every year. And certainly going into a midterm election, and the election law has changed since 2024, so it's something that I want to take a look at, but I'll be evaluating all the options.
Right. So we're going to want to do that before the midterms, right? In August, right?
The next potential election would be May. That would be if there's a special election, so.
Oh, okay.
There really is no rest between elections because they take about 4 months to prepare for. So.
That's right.
May I ask, could they combine them?
So my comment about the election laws changed. It has changed so that we could combine it into one precinct. The requirement for number of voters, we meet that threshold to have one precinct. There are a lot of things to consider. It's voter wait time. So I would say in my 24 years here for a November election, presidential election, it's uncommon for a voter to have to wait more than 10 minutes to cast their ballot. I'm not really interested in making that more difficult for voters. So that's certainly a consideration. If you're combining two precincts, there's that potential. The election law also added early voting. So if more people vote early, more people vote absentee, that's less people that are coming on election day. So when I talk about evaluation, those are the things that I have the data, I have the statistics. It's really location, who will allow us to use their space, that meets the law, that has the available parking, that is convenient for the majority of the voters in the city. So.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What was the percent of absentee versus in-person this year? Because it was so high.
In person, we total voter percentage was 28%. We had I don't think I brought the breakdown, but in each there were about 300 in-person voters in precinct 1 and 220, I want to say, in precinct 2. So definitely, I would say 67% absentee.
Okay, so that's still about the same. Run-in's about 65, right?
Well, that's the other part of election law that changed. So when you're looking at those numbers, it's really hard to compare. It's not a comparative because there's the no reason absentee ballot and the permanent ballot list. So now you can request to get the ballot automatically and you don't have to ask for the application. So we sent out 1,200 absentee ballots. We only received 600 and some back. So I think when people got the ballot, they were, surprisingly enough, we got a lot of comments, why isn't the governor on this ballot? So I think when people got the ballot, they were a little bit surprised to just have a school millage and the local election.
Okay, good.
How many, can I ask how many were early in person versus
38 people voted early.
38 out of 500?
Yeah. I can, if the commission's interested, I can send you the entire breakdown.
Yeah, that would be great. I think that would be
Sure.
just to know. And it would help also with the next, deciding on where if we do it one place, deciding where and how many people we'd be expecting, right?
Yeah, all that information is critical.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so-
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Any other comments?
No, Mayor.
So first I want to ask other business. Does anybody have anything?
Well, I put a big signboard out here and put that together yesterday, actually. And so there's a couple things I wanted to kind of report on. One is the actual sign blaze that we've put together, and also I think I found a solution for our brackets. And I can bring that to the commission next month, but I think I found a solution, a manufacturer that can make the brackets and Commissioner Baxter's design of the end caps all together, and so I'll bring that to the commission next month for consideration. But as far as the blades here, they call them sign blades, and what I try to do is just put them in order of what we were talking about. So just I put the Kennebec cord on top. That's one of the old original signs, and those letters are 2.5 inches tall. Wishbone was sort of a DPW solution that I think started this whole thing, and those are 2 inches tall. And then Brady Lane, those are, I think that's, you might have to help me out there. That's a 3, yeah, so there's Brady Lane's 3, Rudgate's 3, Keswick's 2.5, Canterbury Crescent's 2.5, Barden Road's 2.5, I believe, Canterbury Road's 2.5. And so these are samples that I every time we talked, I would order some more samples. And this is sort of the order that we went through. Rudgate has the first letter, the capital letter is 4 inches, and the rest of the letters are, the small letters are 3 inches. And then there's Orchard Ridge Road, which I think is, that's a 2.5 inch. And then there's the Orchard Ridge Road, it's a 3 inch. And then we have the 2 wood signs, which are 3 inch. So that's where we're at with all the different signs that we've talked about. And I think the idea was to put it on a display board and have you look at it and see where you think we're at.
Can't see the bottom one.
I think those are wood ones, the bottom two back.
Oh, just the other Orchard Ridge.
Oh, yeah.
So is that the same, it's the same font, just in different heights?
You're right.
Those were the 2 that we had talked about last time?
Yes, so I didn't put the fonts on there because, like I was talking to Commissioner Baxter, they're a bunch of obscure words. And so essentially, I just think if you pick what you like, we'll get it done for you. But the last 2 are the latest 2 fonts and sizes that I believe Commissioner Fisher and Commissioner Baxter asked me to get.
Well, we were told that intelligence says that the taller and narrower the letter, the more legible than a squatty cat. And we have to agree on whether we're going to say RD or spell it out or not.
Yes, yeah, that would be something to consider. One thing I don't have on there is you can actually have the RD or road or lane in smaller letters. You could have that. I mean, just the RD and LN. Or you could spell, if you spell it out, it would be probably be a good idea to have it the same size.
One of the factors too that's a variable here is the spacing between the letters and the aspect ratio of the font. So you can play around with that as well. It looks pretty tight.
Well, I think that is a function.
Yeah.
I think that's a function of the font. I think the font, when you order a font, they
yeah, you can change the aspect ratio of the font.
Okay.
Because I did. I mean,
you did, or if you pick it from a list.
I pick a font.
And then you change it yourself?
You can change the
I'm sure we can do that, but I think what I'm saying is if we order something, we would have to know what that aspect ratio is, if it's a specific.
We'd have to dictate the space.
Yeah.
Because that's pretty tight.
Yeah, it just looks really tight. And then some of them above look maybe a little more spaced out than the lettering is quite wide. So
The company that we use right now for the sign blades, they're $27.50 a piece. And I don't know if they can do that spatial thing or not. Well, I'll find out. It's sometimes they've had some difficulty with us in actually finding the fonts that we want.
Are any of the fonts the same? Are any of the signs with the same font?
On that board?
Yes.
Canterbury Crescent and Barden Road, and I think Canterbury Road are
Those 3.
very close in size, and I think Rudgate Road and Brady Lane might be the same. I think Keswick's a little bit different.
So you're looking for a decision tonight? It'd be nice to.
Well, it's certainly up to you. I'm willing to order more sign, whatever you want me to do.
I think we've kind of exhausted all our you know, we could keep going for another year, getting different ones. Personally, I'll go out on a limb here, I like that Canterbury Crescent, Barden Road, Canterbury Road. Those three, are those all the same font you said?
Yes, I believe so.
I like that.
Is Canterbury Crescent a road or a street?
It's my
Yes.
road, I live on it.
Yes, it's more.
So you'd have to add the word road to it. That's
No,
crazy.
No.
it's just called
It's
Canterbury
just
Crescent.
Oh, that's what you meant by road, no, it's just, yeah.
But I do think you need to add, like, you can't just say Kennebec is just Kennebec, it's Kennebec Shore,
That's okay.
you know what I mean?
It's a long day.
Something didn't look right.
Yeah, we can do that.
You know what I mean, that's like,
Would you like the full word? I mean, that's something you have to think about. And
It's more proper, it's more what we've always done.
yeah, there'll be a few that are very long, but that might be okay.
like Bennington Drive is gonna be long,
And
Yeah.
Heinrich's Drive, I mean.
yeah, there's just some,
Oh, right.
so.
So I don't know if you wanna put a
Canterbury
DR on
Crescent
some of those, I don't know.
Yes, it's Crescent is like, instead of saying court, they said crescent,
Oh, gotcha.
because it's
Okay.
shaped like a crescent roll.
Okay. I like those just because I think they're nice, they're not too in your face, they're readable, they're legible. Some may be bigger than others, but that's just the nature.
So what I could do is, I could come, well, you can pick something, or if, I don't know, if Commissioner Baxter wants to
What do you guys think?
mess with the spacing at all, or?
I would like to, because I like the tall narrowness of the Orchard Ridge.
But whatever you
That's too tight.
want, and next month
That is too tight, I agree.
Well, could you maybe put me in touch with the blade company?
Yeah.
And I think that's,
Sure.
should be a very easy thing to do.
Sure.
And if they need the actual CAD file with the aspect ratio changed, I mean, I can certainly do that. That's not hard. But, yeah, to me, I think it's important to fine tune it, because once we pick something, we're going to be stuck with it. We're not going to be making any more changes, so it'd be nice to get it right, and then.
one thing I think is important is it should be a 6-inch blade, not a 5-inch. Because these, the company, I actually checked, they do not make 5-inch blades. We'd have to get special blades made, and one thing that's nice about this company in particular is that I do like the pleat. It's not painted, it's a vinyl, that's held on there, and I think it'll last a long time, and it has the retro-reflective lettering, because they're a sign company.
Is that Canterbury Crescent, Barden, is that what are those have that what you're talking about? Or no?
All of them do.
All of them, okay.
Even the Wishbone, just the little letters has it, but Kennebec doesn't. But the rest of them do. Even the wood ones, because like Commissioner Baxter made those and he painted them with the retro-reflective paint.
I remember the ones on the Trowbridge down there. Those are a brighter yellow. They're more legible than these, correct?
I think this just that it's wider. I think it's the same color.
Is it really? It's probably from the lighting of the room.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do we need to vote on whether or not we're gonna have wood signs some places and metal others, or?
I don't know if you necessarily need a vote, just direction, and I do want to. I have to come back to the commission in December and ask for a budget amendment to order all these brackets. The signs we can order, we get them in like 10 days. They're, like I said, they're relatively inexpensive. But the brackets, like this bracket here, is a commitment. I think we should. I think if we order a stock of them, we'll have them always.
Is there a discount to ordering more, I assume?
There
At
is.
one time?
There is. The big cost of it is the tooling, because they have to develop. Essentially, what this company is doing is reverse engineering what we have, and I actually would like maybe some assistance from Commissioner Baxter just to go through some of the ways this is built, because I think there's certain things with welds and that we can make a little bit better. So But I think I have the solution, but I can get back.
Chris?
Yes, yeah. So what you're looking at is choosing a sign that would be for both inside of neighborhoods and on Woodward, regardless of the speed of Woodward.
We could
We
potentially
could.
make that bigger.
Yeah, we could potentially, it's just, like he said, it's cost. If we do that, it's gonna cost us more to do it, but if you make it all the same, we can, you know.
Yeah, I understand that. But I'm talking about just Woodward. I mean, the rest of the city could be
I think
the same.
I would
I'm just concerned about Woodward.
vote for that.
Are these reflective?
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's, and then, you know.
Another thought is there are lights that operate on batteries too, so you wouldn't need this elaborate system.
As long as it's reflective, I think it will be sufficient.
Should be
I
good.
think there's enough contrast between the gold and the black to make it visible. I mean, these are already a vast improvement. For Trowbridge and Warrington, they are both long names. We have Barbara as well, and that was another question I had. We have two private roads, we have Barbara and Breton Lane. Would we also apply these signs? And I spoke to Brad briefly about that if there's a subdivision that has many private roads, I could see why we wouldn't go but into the whole neighborhood, but for, you know, adjacent to city maintained roads, it would look nice to be cohesive in that way.
We actually maintain those private roads, so.
We would do those
We
too.
would do those too.
Well, like Barbara Lane, you don't maintain, or Breton Lane.
Yeah, we don't maintain.
Oh, we don't,
Oh,
those
okay.
are, you know, how many do we not, there's like 8 private roads we maintain, right?
So the only thing we do is there's, I think 5 roads that we plow, or anywhere between 3 and 5 that we plow still. But that's it. We don't maintain them.
How come we did
It's everything we plow, but we don't maintain.
They don't, yeah, I should say plow, not maintain, yeah.
How could we get Breton and Barbara Lane on that list?
Plowing them?
Yeah.
You probably won't.
Yeah, considering the city, I can't remember who,
It's kind of a past practice.
yeah,
All
we're
kidding
not
aside.
adding more. Okay, so next steps are, you're gonna talk about the bracket, come back to us with a budget amendment
Yes.
for getting it, and Brad, you're going to look at into spacing on them, correct?
Yeah, I'll try to create something and, have another blade ready for the next meeting
Great.
with that
Yeah.
font. Is
Okay.
that the one you like, or?
So
It
is it
is.
okay if I
Unless-
talk to Commissioner Baxter about this solution that I think we have for all these brackets and
Yes, please. You-
Sure.
the
Yeah.
reverse engineering and
Mhm.
maybe have your eyes on it and, okay.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Mark,
And then-
I just wanted to ask, to the extent that we have as Chris mentions, the point that we have street signs on major roads, on Woodward, basically, is there a legal requirement for the size of the font that we should be following?
Yes, there are regulations regarding road signage, and I was gonna speak with the manager and Commissioner Baxter after the meeting, if we're gonna be selecting sizes, fonts, that sort of thing. I wanted to make sure that they consider the regulations to make sure they're the right size and everything.
Okay. Is that your direction?
Yes, Mayor, I have your
And I just wanted to make a quick comment on the wood signs too, is that whatever is decided for the metal signs, the blades and the fonts and the sizes, that can all be duplicated on the
Oh,
wood.
great.
On the wood. There's nothing mysterious about that. I mean, it can be just duplicated. It'll look, exactly the same.
Oh, so we
Would
could
your
have all
association
wood.
be willing to replace and repair them? Because the wood ones
That
get
was
dilapidated very quickly, and
Right.
you're
That
gonna be
was
on
a-
this repairs.
Well, I mean, it's not something we want to take on. I think Alice has seen me out there painting our sign at Woodward. And then I expressed that to Brad immediately upon seeing these. I said, I wish it was a pigmented composite material that would not deteriorate. Something that could could be a solution, because no, I don't want them deteriorating. I don't want to have to be responsible for the care of them, which should really fall in the city's realm, in my opinion.
Well, that's why we're not selecting the wood, because
Right.
it does,
It's actually a really good idea, though, to have you can, I mean.
you want to
composite
choose the
decks,
wood, then your association can take on
You can
the,
use a piece of composite material.
Well, I think
That's a
composite,
good idea.
I would love to see them in composite. I think that they have far more character than these. These kind of make me sad a little. You know, they're nice. It's an improvement. And I know you'd have like the side brackets on and kind of make them look a little chunkier.
Yeah.
But something like this, I think, is more befitting to our city. But again, I don't like the wood and the deterioration aspect. But yeah, if there's a way you could price out a
I've never,
composite
I've,
on that would be.
I've scoured the
Good idea.
internet
Yeah.
for
It
sign
really is, 'cause
companies,
you can-
and I've called and talked to 6 different ones, and they're all, no. I mean, I really
Yeah.
struggled
The
to.
composite,
I think you
Make it
can
look
get an
like
Etsy kind of person maybe too.
yeah, actually.
It is a really good, can we look at, okay, now we got you another.
Yeah, I absolutely can.
If you can, that's great.
I agree with your
I mean,
comments.
for the wood
It does
part,
make them look
only not the
charming.
rest of the
Yeah,
signs, but
exactly. You think about like
if
Bloomfield
they're-
Village.
Yeah.
And you think about the city of Bloomfield Hills. I mean, I've always loved our street signs. I know it's strange, but they do have an aesthetic to them. They're charming.
They
that's
are,
the
yeah.
definition. And these black charm.
I just have to share a personal story with you. Is when I moved into Bloomfield Hills, my 80-year-old father would drive down to see us, and he'd go, and I'd go, well, you know, I said our signs, our colors are black and gold, and he goes, yeah, I know. He goes, when I drive in down Lasser, he goes, I always know when I'm in the city because I see your street signs. I'm like I would never expect my 80-year-old father, but he goes, it's really cool. I know that's where the city starts, and that's interesting. So
Right. Yeah.
they are charming. Yeah. All right, so let's look at composite too. Okay.
yes.
Okay. Great.
Yeah, and I would just say, looking at these closely, and I have looked at the wooden ones closely around, and I mean, if you take a 2x6 and you slap some paint on it and put some vinyl letters on it, that's a little different than what these are. These are done
Very.
professionally. They've got 2 coats of exterior paint on them. The gold paint is a special paint. It's got the retroreflective beads in it. I mean, this is not what I think we were used to seeing. So, and we've already got one of these up in the neighborhood, and it's been surviving just fine. I mean, it's been about a year, I think,
Do you
since we
have
put
this
it
in
up.
your neighborhood?
Mhm.
Oh.
We just put up one just to see what it would look like.
I'll drive over there. Look
yeah.
at it. Yeah.
Maybe
So-
we should put the one Rudgate up so you guys can get a feel for that too.
Okay. Yeah, we had that one up, didn't we, Dave? It's down now.
Yes. I think it's on the board there.
Yeah.
I noticed it was down. Yeah. Yeah.
And having a little bit of a weathered look is actually, I think, part of what we like about it. And if, you know, composite is going to be shiny, just like the,
Not necessarily. You think about like Trex boards, you know, for a deck. Those are have a matte finish.
yeah, that's
So
true.
You can get really close to the look, wood grain, you know, even, it's just that, yes, it looks good after a year, but if you take a look at the sign that's been at, I don't know how long those signs have been out there, but like the one at Trowbridge and Woodward, I think it's been out there a long time. That paint's peeling, it's gonna eventually peel. And, I mean, I think it looks great, but yeah, I wish it was a more sustainable.
Did they talk about how long that would last?
Well, nobody's going to guarantee how long it's going to last. I mean, it's all weather dependent and things like that. But, I mean, I guess I would ask what is deemed an acceptable lifespan for.
Depends on what type of wood is it?
You can get any kind of wood. I mean, that there is actually oak because it was something they had. But you can use cedar, you can use treated, it doesn't matter. My only concern about composite, and I've used it in building materials, and if the sun hits it, it warps. You know, it's not the greatest. Actually, wood is better
Does it
sometimes.
fade as well, the color?
The plastic fades, yeah. I mean, and the other problem is if you're going to paint it, it's got to come in the color that you're intending, and then what happens is the UV will turn the plastic kind of gray over time. So I'm not sure composite is really what we want to go with. I mean, I understand the durability aspect, but, I'm not sure that these aren't going to last for a good 10 years.
But that's 10 years, you know how fast 10 years goes by? It's like.
Well, I hope to be alive in 10 years, so.
I like it. You guys have just totally, I like the wood sign now. You totally changed my mind.
Yeah, I think it looked great.
Yeah.
I would love to see those.
Actually, like the color's a little darker than the yellowish strawberry. Maybe because they're small.
Yeah, and these actually, they drop on a lot easier. You don't have the two blades, you don't have the end brackets to fuss with.
That's true.
You just drop it on and it's good to go.
Can we get a price on that, Dave? What would it be?
Well, I think we could, the brackets we could probably just use no matter what, but if you want to go with wood, we would.
We have the pricing on that.
Yeah, we have the pricing on it. I think
It's
100
more, isn't it?
About 120 to
127 piece.
140, depending on the width.
120 something a piece, right?
A piece versus the $10.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But those look $10 a piece.
Yeah, that's true. What is it, Amy? 200 and some roads?
250.
Number of
It's
signs.
about signs 260.
260.
What are the brackets going to cost, Dave? Or you don't know that yet?
I do know it. The brackets with the designed ends, which we might not need, but would, is $73. $73.55 actually. It's $18,000 commitment if we bought 250 of them. 18,000 something.
I'm sorry, what was it?
18,000 some odd dollars, I believe, to purchase 250 of these types of sign brackets. But we'll really have to know what we're going to do, what signs, because once we order them, we're going to have a stock full of signs that will brackets that'll be it. We'll probably won't even need anymore. I mean, as long as all of us are here anyway.
So you're saying 127?
I think it was the thinner ones. I think were like 114 or 120, and the thicker ones are I think 140.
So if I could do 127, I'm going down the middle, right?
Okay.
Is that right?
Well, it's one or the other.
Well, I think you're gonna have to go with the thicker because you need the thicker to
So
get
that's how
around the
much
post.
then?
I would budget, let's say, 150
A piece.
a piece.
You need two.
Just the blade.
The plank, yeah.
You need 2 planks, probably. Not all roads, but you need 2.
A piece. So you need 2, right, on each side?
No, you need 1, 2.
1, 2.
And do they do it on both
Cross
sides? They put the name on both sides?
Yeah.
So that's 39,000.
There's it would be, but the one thing I consider too that so I took the Kennebec Court sign apart to screw it up there. It was all full of bee honeycombs. So that separation between the two signs, it's there's almost.
Well, and we're not doing we're just doing replacement of dilapidated ones. So to be very clear, we're not doing citywide. We're just doing replacement of dilapidated ones.
Yeah, I was just thinking though, if we're gonna do the replacement, you have the 2 blades. It looks nice, but we're gonna have to find a way to make sure the backs are black, because I'm only getting the color on one side with those blades. But what is kind of nice about the wood, and this is my opinion, if it's done right, is there's not that separation in between the two signs. But
I would say, I didn't think we were doing dilapidated ones because it'll be 25 years before we ever do that. And who's defining what a dilapidated sign is?
No, we are doing that. We've already agreed to that.
Okay.
well, there's plenty for us to replace.
Yeah. You have to have uniformity of signs throughout the community.
Well, that's certainly a decision. If there's going to be some sections that have the wood, and other sections that have the metal blades, or that's something that I will need to know
That's
eventually.
what I was going to suggest, is that like for woodwork, I see these being totally appropriate because there's so much traffic and salt dust and all kinds of.
Oh, that's not a
lot
bad
of
idea.
wear
Do
and
these for
tear
just
on
woodwork.
Yeah.
So the higher traffic roads could have something more, resilient
Same
And
font.
then the intra neighborhoods,
Yes.
inside the neighborhoods, we can do something more charming to break that cost down.
It's a good
We can do
idea.
that.
Great.
I'll bring back the costs of the brackets and hopefully, we'll have a decision on the signs also next month.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay, any other comments? Anybody? I have one. I just want to raise thought for us to do.
Sure.
AI is all over the place now, and it's all the buzz and everything. But it was interesting. I've been on team calls, and almost every team call I'm on now is recorded, just like our meetings are. But they also use a note-taking for the call. So there's an AI feature that you guys are shaking. It is almost.
It's terrific, yeah.
It is like just like that, right after the meeting, boom, and it's like 99% there, right?
You see that white computer that Amy has in front of her?
So
That does that.
So what I'd like to see going forward, Amy, instead of the abbreviated notes, just do the AI notes. Like
We should check them, and I would like to see that the mayor gets to review them a week after the meeting. So if there's any discrepancies,
yeah.
we can take care of that before we come to the
But I
meetings.
see. I mean, we already have it. I don't know why you shorten and abbreviate them. Like it's there.
It's part of it's part of what she's trained to do. She actually goes to school. It's part of how minutes are developed, and I suppose Mark could talk to that to provide what she gets from that AI app to everybody. It's not really the right way to do minutes. But go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, Open Meetings Act covers what minutes are required. There's some areas where you can deviate and change how you're taking minutes, and I think what you're doing, your current minutes are appropriate. I think the major deviation, in my opinion, is for like a zoning board of appeals minutes. You want them more detailed because that is a court record that's going to be reviewed by a court on appeal, and it's limited to what's in that record. So you want those more detailed rather than more of a summary. I think the meeting minutes for like the city commission are appropriate the way they are.
The only thing I would say about that is, we have, so for instance, in these minutes, and I didn't say anything, but in these minutes, when all those residents came in and they started talking about the Woodward Dream Cruise, or the Woodward Noise,
Yep.
The minutes reflected Dave saying something,
Yep.
not the conversation. And this is what we get feedback as a commission saying, you're not doing anything, you're not
Right.
addressing it. Those minutes sounded like we didn't address it and only Dave addressed it.
And
Okay.
chief.
And the chief. And there was nothing about our
All the
concern.
things we said. Right.
So that to me, and I know what you're saying about how they're supposed to be done, but one of the ladies, in fact, quoted and said, I went back to all of your minutes for the last 6 months, and she said, you never talk about this stuff. So that's where I'm saying, well, do we do it because we've always done it this way? Or are we doing it because AI didn't exist and these note-takings didn't exist before?
I think you're doing it because the minutes are supposed to be reflecting just a summary of what occurred and what decisions were made. That's the purpose of them. To the extent you want a record of comments, I think what was done tonight was appropriate, where when the minutes were up for approval, there was a request that certain things be included, and I think that's the appropriate way to handle that, because again, it's really a record of decision making. That's the purpose of it.
But that wasn't a decision. That was a conversation.
That's my understand. I'm sorry. That's my comment. Is that generally the minutes are just for the decision making record. If you want to include, like if there was a large body of people speaking on a particular issue, that would be appropriate to, when the minutes are up for approval, request that to be noted. like was done tonight.
But why wouldn't, she gets them and does them so quickly, why can't she run them by the mayor, just so that she can double check that all the comments that the commissioners made, you know, reflecting, we were reacting to the residents, so I think it's important that the residents who read the minutes, not that they're going to, see that we do care and learn all the things and the steps that we've taken as a whole commission to fight this Woodward noise.
Yeah.
And that none of that was reflected in the minutes, but every comment from the resident was, and that wasn't a decision. So it seems like, I don't know, I understand that's the official way the minutes should be, and I think they should be, but on the other hand, they're informative too.
Well, there's also the video, though, of each meeting that the people can go, and the people that said to you that we hadn't mentioned, that they could look at the meetings, and then they're all out there, so.
But this woman
you just
clearly
don't
said
put all
she
that
looked through the
detail in
minutes
it.
and she didn't see
You
any.
don't
I
put
don't
that
think,
in
I
it.
guess-
I don't know if I was a resident, I would sit there and go through
Hours
two
and
and a
hours of
half
video.
hours of video to see
But-
every one.
But you don't put all that detail in minutes. I know, I took minutes for publicly traded corporations in my career. There's requirements of what you put in and what you
I
keep
know,
out.
I
You don't
understand.
put in all the detail.
I
You just,
understand.
as Mark said, you just put the record of the actions that were taken, and as Mark said.
But
you
everything
can-
was mentioned that the chief said, and everything was mentioned the resident said, but not
because-
mentioned what
Because
the commission said.
we didn't take formal action on it.
Neither did the chief. He was
Yeah.
explaining
Well,
what
he
his
was
actions,
just
what his
reporting.
efforts were.
Well, I don't think we made a decision on anything with respect to the noise that people were complaining about.
I don't
We
either,
talked, we
but
went
the
back,
minutes
"Oh,
did
yeah, we
reflect
agree
what the
with you,
chief
we
said,
agree
and they
with you,
didn't
we've
reflect
done
what
this
the
and that,"
commission
but we
said.
didn't really make any decision, we didn't take any action on it. And you don't really put in all that back and forth, he said this, she said that, it doesn't belong in minutes.
I agree. I'm just
Nor do you
stating.
make it as a,
But I think it should, that is a very sensitive subject with all of our residents, especially the ones that live on Woodward. And for the fact that, no offense, but they say to us, you guys didn't do anything. You didn't have any comment, you're not doing anything, what good is it?
well, you should, didn't Mark say, you said add something in? You can always go to Amy and say, add this in. We said this,
Yeah, would you mind if we added in that, when we see the minutes of the meeting before, if we wanted to set something and we accurately reflect what we said the meeting before, that we ask you to put it in there and then we can do it? Because people really don't understand what minutes are intended to be, and to amend it wouldn't take any real time.
I agree, yeah. And
Right.
I know you didn't have this benefit, Commissioner Ackerman, but I shared the minute policy that was adopted by the City Commission earlier this year. So as part of the materials that grow, I'll be happy to share the minute policy, but that is what it says, that if you want something to be documented, you just let me know.
We
I'm
just
happy
add,
to
we can
include
add it on. But-
Yep, no problem.
So,
And maybe that would be a course of action as well, as maybe during the meeting where the minutes are being taken, somebody could make a comment, I would like the record to reflect
Oh, I like that.
whatever.
oh, yeah,
I
okay.
like that.
That's
I mean, it's flexible, and it is your minutes, but, the purpose of the minutes has a limited role, so.
Is it better to bring them, make the comment, or you bring the minutes to the full commission and then they make the comment, or is it, to change it, or?
And Amy can speak to this probably better than I, but I mean, there's a certain time frame where minutes have to be ready. A draft of them has to be ready. And then if there's changes made after that, I believe it has to be redlined.
Yes.
And all the changes will be made, and the permanent record of the minutes will be the original minutes with all the changes in them. So, I
But
don't
I'm
know
on
how
some
that.
other boards and the minutes are distributed to the chairperson a week after the meeting, and they look it over and they say, yep, everything's consistent with what I recall happened in the meeting, and if they have changes, they give it to the administrator and they change it before it goes to this whole meeting here. So why can't we do that policy where let the mayor review it and a week after the meeting, and then if there's anything,
Well, I don't know what the policy
I-
currently says.
I mean, that's how a lot of other
The policy
organizations do it.
the current city commission policy about minutes is that, changes are made at the public meeting, at the next public meeting.
Can we change it? I'm breaking the rule. My daughter told me not to talk at the first meeting. Could we change our past policy?
I'm happy to do whatever the commission, whatever direction the commission has on the minute policy that is reviewed by the city attorney as compliant with the Open Meetings Act and, all of the legal requirements. I will follow the policy.
Mark, is that all right if we get it 2 weeks after the meeting?
I believe the requirement under Open Meetings Act is 7 days.
7 days.
They have 7 days to get the draft ready. That's the draft. And so, you know, if somebody wants to review it, I don't know what arrangements could be made, come in and look at the draft or just send the draft out. I don't know, but it's your policy, so, you know, you're free to change it.
Isn't the reason for going over it in the next meeting is so that everybody understands and sees what the changes are that are being made to the minutes? Because if you review the minutes a week after the meeting and you request changes and those changes get put in, let's say I come to the meeting and I don't know any of those changes occurred, or I don't, you know,
On that point, that's why I mentioned when the draft is prepared, if there's changes made, it's all done redlined, and the red line becomes
Okay.
the permanent.
So we would still get the red line version of it.
Oh, okay, okay,
which-
Okay.
okay, that's good.
And if we want to refute anything, we can as well in the meeting.
Yeah.
It just simplifies.
I like that idea, that's a good suggestion. So that
Yeah,
means we
as
have-
long as everything's traceable and you can see what was changed and.
That's the way the Open Meetings Act designs it, so.
Sure.
Okay,
So can I make a motion that the draft of the minutes be presented to the mayor? Do I have to say 5 days after the meeting?
7.
It's 7 days is the law.
7 days up, and may submit changes that will be evident in the final minutes that are submitted before the city meeting, the next city commission meeting.
Okay.
Make a motion?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. You guys okay? Aye, okay. All right, new policy. Look how quickly you work, Al.
That's great.
I'll have a joke at every meeting.
Yeah, good. All right, any other discussions, AI topics, anything? No? Okay, can I have a motion for the meeting to adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.